right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Perspective. I am one half of a dynamic duo, co-host, and I am Eric J. Butler, aka the Intellect, aka I almost said eight. I don't know what that was about. Cullinan, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, aka the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, and kind of mixed that up, but nevertheless. I am here. I am a talent acquisition consultant. Have about 2 decades into the field, so that's kind of lend me to move into career counseling, which also some people just need to be motivated and picked up, propped up, so they can move on. So I've done that. I'm active in the community through a nonprofit called the Empower Series. So I would like for you to go to www.empowerseries.com. Check out some of that content. Also go onto our YouTube page. I would really, really appreciate that. Other than that, I'm a man, father, grandfather. So I'm gonna give you what I got and share it at will. Other than that, I'm just gonna roll the mic on over to my stupendous co-host, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Latoya, aka Them Kids Mama, aka Mr. Jeff Wife, aka that's all I got. No, seriously, I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm an author and a speaker, and I'm so excited to get into it tonight. Yeah. Oh, comments. We
what
got
you
to do
say?
comments.
All right. Oh, Mr. Ben Sutter the third.
I like that
So,
picture.
so the perspective is on the BS3 network, and if you notice, Ben Sutter the third puts the BS3 or the BS3 into the BS3 network. He said you can support BS3 network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network, and we thank you. I definitely tell you this is a network built off of with good people, with good hearts. It's a great place to sow into, and every little bit counts. So don't feel shy about supporting us with stars, and then also make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go see some of the other videos. Make sure you like those videos on the BS3 network. I promise you won't be disappointed. I promise you won't be disappointed. So, with that being said, Doc, the
Hold
thing
on.
about
Hi, Jillian. Hold on. Hi, Jillian.
okay, there we go. Hey,
Yeah.
Jillian. Yeah, she's one of my favorite people. She just don't know it.
I saw
So
that. You got all excited.
Facebook user said, "What's up, people? We're in the comments section tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
So
Looking
I don't,
forward to it."
okay. Hold on. Before we get started, let me just say I am like Eric's little sister. So I'm going to always take a little jab. I'm going to always say something. Y'all, I promise it's all in fun. I don't know Miss Jillian. She seems to be a great person, but I was going to always call out that excitement every time.
Every time,
Every time.
every time. Now, Jillian, we had worked together. Jillian she can definitely confirm my comments about being in the talent acquisition space, whether I'm good or bad at it. Because she made me chase her down. She made me chase her down. Yeah, talented person, very smart, intelligent, and funny. Funny. So, other than that, she's my people's. All right. So one thing I always like to do is talk about perspective and the premise of our platform. Doc definitely going to get you the disclaimers here in a second, but the premise of our platform is right there in the name, perspective. So there's going to be different points of views, opinions, outlooks, different perspectives on everything in every walk of life. And what we like to do is just have those conversations to try to create thought, generate elements of thought, and even challenge what some of your thinking and patterns and your perspectives may be. If they don't change, cool. If it's something that makes you think deeper and maybe reconsider what your thought and path is, cool. So it's no harm, no foul. And just because you do not agree with someone, or there is no a match on what your perspective is, it doesn't mean that you're right, they're wrong, or they're right and you're wrong. It simply means they're different. And when we talk about our differences, it actually brings us close together. We find out that we have more in common than in different, and we think that heals and helps our community. And that's what we want to do here on Perspective. So with that being said, I'll let Doc hit you with those disclaimers.
Okay, let me hit you with the disclaimers. So we are talking from our perspective, not necessarily our current situations. Nobody called us and told us your personal business before we got here. We are just talking from our lens of education, experience, and things that we've been through. Yes, there is an outlier for every situation. Yes, your homegirl, sister's cousin had the exact same situation and it went different for her, and we are happy for her, but we are talking about things from a general perspective.
Indeed. Hit them with the disclaimers. I'm just going to tell you, I enjoy when she do the disclaimers because they roll off so smoothly. That comes from the heart, and she meant that. And sometimes I try to translate for, people like me. Basically she's saying she's a therapist, but she's not your therapist. I love when she says that. And also she says, we're not talking about you, because sometimes we will pick a nerve, or it'll feel like we talking to you. You've been in, one of those houses of, regurgitation, and they get to talking, and the person that's up regurgitating that information, they talking directly to me. So sometimes it may hit like that, but no, we ain't nobody called us and told us your business. It should evoke you to take a thought about where you at and what you're doing. But with that being said, we're going to get into what we're doing tonight, and it's a little different. We've done this once before, and I'm going to say it's by popular demand. There was questions and requests that we do more reaction videos. So we're going to do that. And before I play the first video, do we have any more comments that we need to take a look at?
She's talking about you being great in talent acquisition.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, have to give a disclaimer, because I know.
Indeed.
My man.
Hey, Mr. J. Gilliard. Everybody, I'm just going to tell you that's my partner. Now, there's someone else of prominent stature within the BS3 Network family who definitely tries to claim that Mr. J. Gilliard is his BFF, but, I don't think we should put a title on it, and I'm not here to compete or anything. I'm just saying him, it's an extension of him, is my little sister. So I just think there's something on that. You know what I mean? That should bring us closer together, but never here or there. We'll let that go. But Mr. J. Gilliard is in the building. Love it. Jillian says, don't let hit dogs holler, huh? Absolutely, Jillian. They be happy. They be mad when we pull up that mirror too. They be like, who, me? Yeah, you.
Yes, you.
All right. So we're going to do some, as I was saying, we're going to do some reaction videos. And we definitely want to know what you think. We definitely want to know what it stirs up in you. And this could take us in many directions. So this is not as structured and formatted. We like free thought. We want you to dig into those true places. This is a truth place, a safe place. So speak as you feel, as you think, most importantly. And hey, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Women think being submissive and following is a bad thing.
Not at all.
Well, no. Some of them today think that these words are bad words. They think that these words are bad. But guess who submits more than anybody? Men. Men submit to their wife because they could whoop their ass if they wanted to get them to do whatever they want to. But they lower themselves and they say, I'm not going to handle this thing with what I'm better at, which is physicality. Because women will get into an argument with a man and they will go to their best feature, which is they can manipulate a man. So they're going to use their strength, and you're going to hold yours back. Number one. Number two, you have a military general. That military general will lead 20,000 men. Guess what those 20,000 men are? Followers. That one man is telling them to run into battle. They have all these people who are telling them what to do, and men will. A basketball player, Kevin Durant, is listening to a coach who Kevin makes $30 million a year. His coach makes 10. He's listening to that man who makes less than him and was not as great a basketball player as him. And him and the rest of those 13 to 15 guys go out and listen to his orders. We follow it because we believe that he's been put in that position for a reason. And we do it every day. So whenever women try to argue against this and talk about misogyny and stuff like that, understand that nobody follows orders more than men.
Yeah.
Doc.
You know, I got some thoughts. People in the comment section, get your fingers ready. Talk to us. Let us know what you think. My very first question is, though, who are these women that he's talking to? Because he said, women think submission is a bad word. And then sis was like, He was like, well, most women. Who did he ask? Did he ask people who were in like a healthy relationship? Did he ask people like right when they were on the verge of a breakup? Did he ask people when their boyfriend in jail? Like what's the population? Where he get them people from?
Well, you know, that's the thing. You know, of course, they're going to have their perspective, that individual, no matter where they come from, because they may come from, you know, we know that there's a difference in thought when it comes to generations, you know, definitely age, ethnic, you know, their ethnic background, those things, or whatever culture they come from. There's going to be different answers on that. But with that being said, I would challenge our viewers and commenters and yourself. Yeah, if you're a woman, you've been around women. You know who would say that and who wouldn't. And you know the different answers that have been given in similar or related type of questions, especially when it comes to submission.
Hold on. Because that man proved our as educated, mentally stable, healthy, whole women. He proved our point because he said nobody submits more than a man. They submit to the coach, they submit to the general, but they're submitting to someone who has been deemed fit. And so women don't have a problem submitting. You just got to be somebody worth submitting to. Yeah, you got nothing on that, huh? Stumped you.
No, I'm trying to be nice. Because I'm just like, whenever that, when that delusional Kool-Aid kick in, you know, I know you don't like that word, and that's why I used it. So this is the thing that happens. To me, that was very logical, because the only reason he would be making a statement about, hey, let me show you another picture. Let me give you a different perspective. We talk about submission, and it's a bad word to women. It is. I'm a man, and I've said the word and a description of what my relationship would look like and how my significant other would move and what my expectations would be, will fall in line with a person that would say, you're asking for submission. When submission is really partnership, because at any given time, you know, you don't have to do something. You do not have to be in line with an instruction given. But the beauty of it and the strength and the what I'm trying to find a word strong enough, the omnipotence of submission is that it's a gift that's given. But many women will fight against that. And then you just said something important. You said, okay, it just has to be somebody worth submitting to.
Yep.
You chose the person, submit or not, or don't submit.
So I think
because everybody's perfect. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Doc.
There's nuances to this, right? Because these new age men want you to submit and be their girlfriend. I don't know if I'm doing all that.
Well, if I don't know you'll submit in the beginning, how I think what make me think you're gonna submit on the back end.
So at what point do I understand that you're worthy to submit to? We just met and I thought you was cute and you thought I was cute and we exchanged numbers. I'm not submitting today. No, I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't. And any healthy, sound, competent man would not have an expectation of a woman submitting to him after 1 or 2 dates or 3 dates.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that comes with time, but I'm talking about there are women that's like, I'm not submitting. They will get married and they still not submitting because they make a certain amount, or if he doesn't make as much as me, or whatever the case may be. And this example in this video, I think, did a great job of kind of showing you how those points are really invalid points to make. He talked about professional basketball players who listen and take the direction of someone who may have played, capable of playing, but definitely not at their level, doesn't make as much as them, doesn't do as much as them, but they understand that they have something of value that they can provide, and I'm going to submit to receive that. Because I guarantee you, once if the player does that properly with a coach, hear me now, I guarantee you, when the time comes and the player says, "Hey, coach, this is what I'm seeing out there. This is what's happening. I know that you're the coach, but this is my recommendation." And I guarantee you the coach said, "Yeah, let's run that play since that's what you feel it." But everybody wants to know what the end game is going to be, who that person is, instead of letting someone start with an A and work themselves to an F. Everybody starts with an F and have to work their way into being somebody you can submit to.
Okay. I don't disagree.
And I'm saying that's not effective. It's shown not to be effective. And I think it's counterintuitive to what you yourself even want from someone.
Okay. I don't disagree, but I'm not like...
I know. Stumped, like you told me earlier. Stumped.
No, I'm never stumped. I just want to appropriately disagree, because what I also did not enjoy, and I feel like sometimes this is why the submission conversation becomes so combative and so argumentative, is because no one is giving like a clear definition of submission. See, I think when women hear submission, they hear like back in the day, you don't have no say, you can't do nothing, do what I say, you just like a child, be seen and not heard. And that's not the true definition of submission.
That's not.
And I feel like if more women knew that, then we would be able to be like, submit, got it, cool. But when you get these toxic men with these microphones and these podcasts, then no, we cannot submit to this. Like Buddy said.
So my buddy sounded toxic?
Just slightly. Because why did he have to go to violence?
What did
we could beat you up.
No, listen, because men can.
We know that. Why did he have to say that?
No, I don't know. There's a few women out there who do not know that.
I feel like just by biological makeup, y'all are bigger, faster, stronger. Like
that's understood. And he says what men, he say, if in certain instances, men, that's what they would go to evoke their will over someone. Whereas women, their go-to is really manipulation. You know, y'all know if y'all rub, I'm gonna tell you, I'm influenced. And if my woman, she a good woman, and it may be something I'm on the fence about and I ain't really quite digging it, but she, let her come rub my head and say, "Baby, it's gonna be all right. I just would like to." I'm gonna consider it a little more. I'm not necessarily saying I'm gonna say yes, but I'm definitely gonna slow down and consider it.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying, but I don't even know why the idea of violence had to be brought up. Because
it's a prominent element. It's a reality. It's I mean, why you can't? That they could, but a man. I mean, most. I'm not gonna say. I don't know what the percentages are of like domestic violence and what men would. I can speak for me, and I'm gonna tell you, mine is gonna be skewed because any dude I hang around, he's not gonna hit a woman. He doesn't put his hands on women. Now I've even been driven to the point where I've wanted to, and you're talking to somebody who loathes that. You know what I mean? I witnessed my mother being in a very violent and an aggressive relationship. Like I didn't see my mama get whooped. Do you hear me? I'm talking about in the hospital, whooped. And it was just at an age where I ain't had what it took to do nothing. You know what I mean? I couldn't. And it was devastating. I've seen my mother get like put over a knee and whooped with a belt like a kid. But I was young enough to know that is demeaning and disrespectful because my mother, and I remember, I'm telling you, what 8 years old. My
Right.
mother's an adult and she's my mama, and she whoops me, and I'm a kid, and I like my mother shouldn't be getting whooped like that. You know what I mean? It made me be embarrassed for her because I knew it was demeaning. Because he really wasn't trying to hurt her physically at that moment, but I knew he was trying to break it. And I'm telling you, at this age, I knew it was disrespectful,
Right.
emotionally. But anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent. So what I'm saying is that physical dominance is a prevalent thing, but a man has to choose. You know, men they could do that to make people submit or make women submit, you know, but that's why they get grits and guns and knives and burning bed movies. You get that type of stuff, they're going to retaliate. However, I think he's using that just as a point of the tools that each party uses. Does that make sense? So I don't think he was acute. He wasn't saying that's what we're going to do. He was just explaining.
To me, it's just like, it doesn't make it, for me, it doesn't make me want to hear you when we're going to, well, we could beat you up. I know that.
Well, this, it's like keeping it in context, like, and then we are listening to a clip, and you didn't have
exactly, because he could be an amazing person.
Context.
I'm talking about this clip.
Right. So give him the benefit of the doubt. But let's do comments. So
yeah, okay, go ahead.
I didn't went far down the road. Mr. Gilead said submission is generally considered a bad word when you mention it amongst women. Facts. They will immediately give their version of submission. Facts.
No comment.
Mr. Gilead, Mr. J. Gilead. Great. I feel you on that, and I can definitely relate to it, sir. Jillian Jones says men don't submit to women by not putting hands on them. Their submission is to the law and not wanting the consequences of jail time. Miss
Jillian, you are all right with me. I guess you had no comment for that.
I did, but you went past it. So
okay, because I can go back. My bad.
She said men don't submit to women by not putting hands on them. So their submission is to the law and not wanting the consequences of jail time. And no, because she's not wrong, and that is actually a fact. But when I say she say men don't submit to women by not putting their hands on them, yeah, I really can't dispute that. I think that's a character thing. And it's not a form of submission, because that's not even something that you would be prompted or have a desire to. I think that's a given and an expected in any healthy relationship, that there won't be violent. And that's one way or the other, because women can, of course, be violent towards men.
And I don't like that either. Let's be very clear. I do not think women should put their hands on men, because the minute they do it back, then we're like, oh, he's an abuser. Like, no, he was defending himself. I think her point, men don't submit to women by not putting hands on them, is because he said in the clip, men submit to women all the time because they could just beat you up. That's why she said that.
Yeah, so that was going to be my point. Is like I'm like, men do submit to women a lot of times. They definitely go against what they may think is logical, or they may move in a way, make some decisions that have been influenced, and that they give in and compromise with their woman and her desires. But I don't know. I don't know if that's submission per se. I don't have a problem listening to my woman. I don't want a woman if she doesn't bring any intellectual, emotional, psychological benefit to my life. Can she enhance me in some way? And that's the sexiest thing ever. So if she don't have that, we ain't got nothing really. Facebook user says it's a gift. Or it is a gift. I would say so. I would agree. Yes, a gift. Yes, submission is a gift. Absolutely. And I think the key element is who's ever receiving that gift to be aware that it's a gift and it's not a right. And it's not something that you've earned and you deserve. It is literally a gift. Jillian Jones says, also, those men like Durant submit to their higher purpose to win. This is why when they lose, they automatically go to replacing the coach.
I'm with that too, because I also was thinking, how I was saying you got to be someone worthy to submit to. You got to be a leader so that you can lead, blah, blah, blah. But if we're going with his example of like coaches and generals and stuff like that, coaches specifically, when the team start losing, they get replaced.
Yeah, but that's not always. I mean, we have seen it, and Jillian is she's like Renaissance. She know a lot about a lot, and because I just know. But nevertheless, what I'm saying is it's not always the coaches, and sometimes it's not always the players, but it's situations where neither one is giving, neither one is trying to really play in their role. An example is Allen Iverson, one of the greatest players ever, but him and his coach just they did not gel. And they have come out years later. Coach Brown says, I wish I would have gave in a little bit more to Allen's ideas, thoughts, feelings about things. And Allen was like, I should have listened more to him, and I would have had a better career, probably a longer career, or my reputation would have been much better. I wouldn't have been blocked and vilified as he was. So there's some give and take on both sides when it comes to that. And I think one of the goals I would love to have is for submission not to be viewed as a bad word, like you said earlier. Jillian says submission is servitude. Submission is servitude, which goes both ways. I believe men are obsessed with the word, but do not want to do the work to qualify for the title. I think it's hard based on the simple fact that submission, and if it's defined by everyone, is defined completely different. I think you got to connect with the person where you both agree with your definition or insight on what submission is and what it involves or entails. If that's in alignment, then y'all will be good.
I think it goes back to what you always say, effective communication. I think if you and your person discuss, this is what I mean when I say submission, this is not what I mean when I say submission, and then the other person gets to say, I'm good with that. Can we dialogue about this piece a little bit more? Then I think it wouldn't be so scary. The problem is I'm sure there's like a Webster definition, but I think like in terms of conversation, there's no universal definition.
You really think there's a universal definition when it comes to submission?
What I'm saying is I don't think that there is one. And so when we're having that conversation, if my definition of submission is like slavery and your definition is you get the last say, we're always going to argue because I'm never going to want to be in slavery and you're always going to want the last say. So I'm saying the reason that the conversation is so difficult is because there is no universal definition.
Gotcha. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Doc, aka Doc.
You know.
Indeed. Jillian Jones says, because some men like mentioning violence to set an undertone of fear.
Yeah, that violence took her out like it took me out.
Yeah, that's I get it. No, and if I'm not learning anything, I'm learning that. I mean, and I believe in word choice, word placement, tone. Those things do matter when we're talking about effective communication, because your intentions, if they're not felt and received by the person that you're communicating to, I don't care how eloquent you were. I don't care what size of the word. You could have some of them $1,000 words, them PhD words. If it's not really conveying your real true intentions to the person you're communicating to, you might as well have been speaking a different language. Jillian, I'm sorry. Did we read that one? Yeah. Jeff Gilliam says, I agree, Jillian.
She said it's the typos, but we don't care nothing about that. We're just excited that you're here, and we are excited that you are participating.
I am. I appreciate it. She says, to be clear, my view of submission is two coming together for a common goal. There has to be a willingness of being of service to each other. Man, you might need to market that one, Jillian. That was really, really good. That was really well stated. Yeah, because I definitely agree with that. Yeah, that's it. So we're at the halfway mark, and we have another video that's coming up, and so we're going to play that one here in a second. But in the meantime, I'm just going to play a commercial. Just want you to check out some of the things about BS3. Okay. Definitely get into it, listen to what they talk about, and then we'll come back to you here in just a second. Wait, I don't want. Let me move my favorite one. It's okay.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
I love that. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of that, we have all those different categories, all the different types of topic information. So I really encourage you to go to BS3 Network. You can go onto the Facebook, you can go on to Instagram, you can go on to Twitter. You also have Roku TV, so you can look up BS3 Network on Roku TV. Some of the shows that kind of go in with my timeline, and I get to catch quite a bit. Life Happens with Rabia as a host, and it's always very interesting commentary. I think you'll really enjoy that. Queen 3 and King with my partner Doc.
I really like that.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be informed, and you're going to laugh. If you have, family orientation, there's some sisters and a brother, and man, I'm gonna tell you,
I love it there.
they cut up, and then also the forecast. There's some really sharp, some really sharp brothers. They do reviews over movies that we like, and I mean, I'm telling you will laugh, but what you will learn also. So definitely support BS3 Network. We appreciate it. Then I also use this break moment just to say this, and Doc, I don't know how you feel about it. I think she said it was okay because I asked for permission. But I'm going to be on another podcast starting here on October the 18th. It's called Is It Wednesday Yet? And of course, it's going to be on what day y'all think? Wednesdays at 8:30. Yes, it's going to be Scotty Knox and then Adrian Shawan, who is really like the host and the producer of the show. And I'll just be on there, just kind of, just skating around the rink with no hockey stick and with no agendas, and just see what I can get into. I think it'll be it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be fun, and I would love your support on that as well. And that is It Wednesday Yet? It's on Wednesdays at 8:30, also on the BS3 Network. So thank you, Doc, for letting me kind of plug that in there.
Yes, I let them borrow you on Wednesdays. You just better to be on Thursday.
Now, yes. But foundation, the foundation, the education, the camaraderie, the things that have built up in this arena, and we're talking about podcasting. I owe a lot to Doc. So man, perspective is home. Perspective is the crib. You know what I mean? So you may move and be somewhere else and do a little something, but it ain't nothing like home and the people that really are there with you. So thanks, Doc.
Of course.
Jillian Jones says, congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sincerely. So we have another video. Yeah, I don't know. May have a lot, may have a little. You know, maybe a banjo, maybe a fiddle. I don't know. We may dilly, we may dally, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this and see if we can tally. All right. I didn't have another word except tally.
We've created a generation of narcissistic women. And what's happened is the rise of social media and the rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized. So if you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. If you want to be with it, every poor choice is glamorized, and every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
Okay, so I want to disagree with her. I'm just gonna keep talking. So I want to. Are you okay?
Is it okay? Is it okay for me to come back?
Okay.
I can come in. I just
I
don't want nobody throwing nothing at me.
Let's just say that you picked it.
Wait. I mean, I highlighted it to you, but these things are shared with me. They're
okay.
Requested. Now, some I do come across, and I'll be like, "Hey, Doc, what do you think about this?"
Okay, here's
but the ones we selected, like, yes, let's cover. I just don't want to say that I was all alone in playing it, but I just let you know. I'll take it. I'll take the heat. All right, Doc, let's get into it.
So first of all, disclaimer, it's that time of the year again, y'all. I'm about to be sneezing, eyes watering. Bear with me. I will do my absolute best. So when I first saw the video, right, I was like, she tripping. I don't know what she's talking about. She's wrong, blah, 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 all this, right? Because, sis, don't tell our business like that. Like, come talk to us and help us. Don't be out here doing that, right? But the thing is, if I actually listen to the words that she's saying, I don't necessarily disagree. The only thing that I'm 100% disagree with is she said we've created a generation of narcissistic women. I hate when people are just like, you narcissism. Like, I hate that, because in order for a person to have narcissistic personality disorder, there's like a full-on criteria. So it has to be like unreasonable, high sense of self. It has to be like lack of empathy, preoccupied with money, looks, success. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's not just I only care about me and I'm bossy, right? It's that need to be admired and only want to be around people that admire you and stuff like that. That preoccupation with power. So like, it's a list. And I don't know that the full generation is meeting that list. And as a clinician, I just get tired of people making our terms buzzwords. So I'm very excited that we're talking about mental health, but I hate what we're doing to the words. So that would be my biggest disagreement with her. The whole thing about not taking accountability.
Yeah, gotta wear that hat, huh?
Sis went wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on, let's catch the comments up before you do your part.
All right. So Jillian, she's
congratulations.
Yes. And she said, yes, give her those flowers. Okay,
Thank
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to be fair, he ran it by me and I said we could talk about it, but absolutely he picked it, to be fair.
She said, exactly. So what we've created is a generation of people being labeled without cause.
Right. And so people are like, oh, he didn't buy me flowers. He's a narcissist. No, girl, he's just not that into you.
Now, this is what I love about
express to him that you wanted flowers. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So. And this is what I love about the combination of that in correlation with the other video is that when we talk about, like you just made the comment based on one, lack of the communication that would needed about something that you need. And then also, if a man asks for things that have been labeled by women as someone requesting or desiring submission, then they're called a narcissist. So just having that expectation, and I think really just having that expectation of we are partners and a team, but there has to be one. It's like Highlander. It has to be one. And for example, one of the shows I'm rewatching and I really enjoyed in the past and I'm enjoying it now is Suits, which is on Netflix.
I have got to watch that. Like everybody's watching it.
Yeah. And so Jessica Pearson that's who caught me, because I love, ain't nothing like a Black woman. And I love seeing them in positions of power, being competent, being vulnerable, but still being powerful. But the wonderful thing about it is that my point is, it's a law firm. It's a very powerful law firm with very powerful individuals who are powerful in their own right, within the characters. And they're partners within this organization. You have junior partners, senior partners, then you have named partners. So you ever see, and so the name of it is, Pierceman Hardman is what it was, and then changed to Pierceman Spector, and then Pearson Spector Lit. Those are name partners. But even within the top people, your name is on the door. But out of the name partners, they're still what they call a managing partner. And so nothing ultimately gets done without that one person signing off on it, and they get the glory and they take the heat. So even when you're around everybody that's capable, everybody has a part to play, but there has to be one, because when you come into tiebreakers and we don't know what to do, someone has to be able to make the decision. And traditionally that has been men. Now we can talk about why we think that has been men, but I don't think it has been portrayed as men, but I don't think really healthy men or healthy marriages or healthy partnerships or relationships, I don't think ultimately it comes down to always is just him. It comes down to that in certain moments and maybe on certain aspects. But I think it's important to understand that there has to be one. And so when we talk about submission, I'm thinking they're just saying, hey, okay, if we come into an impasse and my decision will be the one we go with, if you can't give me other compelling information to do something otherwise.
Okay. I'm with that.
Really? I'm waiting for Jillian's response.
Because you jump back to that other video and okay. Yeah.
Because it happens when he says, and he's demonstrating, hey, I think short and skinny, that's a part of life. So don't look at me and say he's asking you to do A, B, or C, and he's asking you to submit, and he doesn't submit himself. Everybody submits at some degree, at some level. The reason it's a gift is because who you decide to submit to, especially in a relationship.
Who you decide to let have that kind of power over you and have that final say. And I do think that somebody has to be the head. Like somebody got to take care of it. So I agree. Yeah. I just think that sometimes men be doing too much.
Sometimes women be doing too much.
A lot of times women be doing too much.
And then sometimes men don't be doing enough.
Sometimes men don't be doing enough. And I think our issue as women with submission is that the men beating their chest talking about submission are typically the men who aren't doing enough.
What's doing enough?
I'm about to use your own stuff on you. Providing for, protecting, what you be saying, having them under my care. What you know what I'm talking about? How you be describing
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm speaking French.
Provision, protection, problem solving, and procreation.
That's doing enough. Minus that procreation, we'll need all them kids. But
you know what? I think I agree with you. But here's the truth. Now we got to get into, like you said, it's levels to this, nuances. So a woman, like, okay, if he's providing, if he's protected, like her criteria and her definition of what provision or ample provision is,
Right.
and what's the level of provision that must be provided for she feel that the level of provision, protection, procreation, and problem solving that he's providing, then she's saying, oh, okay, I'll submit to that man. And what I would argue is that those criteria and levels often are misaligned and delusional.
You mean like she wants you to make 6 figures and she make $5 an hour?
That is a fact. If you, if there, let me say 90% of the women want men that fall in the 1 to 2% percentile of men.
Well, the people on the podcast said, once a woman start making all that kind of money, they don't want her no way because she too smart, too independent. She's too masculine. She's too hard-headed. Right.
She doesn't work as a partner. And because go ahead, I'm sorry.
But my point is, if you're saying that the $5 an hour lady is misaligned for the 6-figure person, but the 6-figure man don't want a 6-figure woman because now that she make all this money, we can't control her, because that's basically how they sounded. What are we supposed to do? How do we get aligned?
Man, if I had the answer to that, me and you would be on a national syndicated. We'd be on a stage. We wouldn't have to do nothing else for nobody else, and we'd just be blowed up. Do you hear me? We'd be chilling, man. And after the show, we're gonna go over to Jeff's place, get to that 5-star restaurant, because he's gonna have that popping. You know what I'm saying? We'd be a whole different strategy if I had the answer for that. But I do have some thoughts on it. But let's read the comments. Jillian Jones says, how can he call the shots if he only paying the light bill? What say you, Doc?
I think that sometimes a man and a woman have an understanding that only that man and that woman understand. And if it's okay at your house, let it be okay at your house. However, if he only paying the light bill, I'm gonna need him to be doing a whole lot of everything else. That's what I say.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I don't have an argument to that. I think that's just an example of, everyone gets to set their values, their expectations, and their definitions and criteria to what would make someone that they would be in a relationship with, or that they would feel comfortable allowing to call some shots. So they get to set that. And
then I wonder if they're only paying the light bill, like, how did y'all get together? Because then aren't y'all misaligned?
Yeah, because if they only paying the light bill, if they're only paying the light bill like now because maybe something happened to them at work, something happened to their work, and maybe that's different. Yeah, that changed. Is it that situation, or did you get with him based on his potential, and you thought he could do something, and then he, time has went by and he hasn't shown to do that, So I think there's a lot of other elements to that to call it. But I understand her position. She's like, man, if you ain't doing the light bill, then that ain't enough for me. And
if you trust me
to
If you trust me to make all the money and pay for everything, then let me run it. What we talking about?
Yeah, and I think there's some circumstances like that. Yeah, as we said, we're talking in general. We're not talking any specific person. It just is food for thought. Jillian also says, if more money makes women masculine, why aren't more men wanting more money?
Jillian, you are all right with me.
I don't think it. Now I would say this. I don't think it's a desire. I don't think it's men not wanting more money. It could be that men do not have access to more money. I think there's nuances on why that may not be happening. And then, of course, we know that's just a general statement because we have no way of knowing if men do want more or less money. I can tell you this man is going to try to maximize. I want my bank.
I
I want
want
my
it
bank
all.
account splitting at the seams. I want multiple streams of income. I want that beep money, beep you money. So I can tell somebody if they say, hey, we would like for you, and I'd be like, I would like for you to shut the beep up and get the beep out of my beep paper. I would like to be able to do that. I'm not saying I would do that, but I use the beeps and the thing to kind of show you I want to be able to do that, step on that line and enjoy life. Being philanthropic, doing something that's impacting the world in a way that's aligned with my purpose that I think would positively impact it. I want that type of money. So when it comes to wanting me, I want more money, and the individuals that are around me, they want more money and they're getting more money. And that's that I think men do want more money.
Let's get to the money. Ain't that
what no, Jillian just made the point. If you ain't got no money, you don't get no honey. If you can't pay the bills, you ain't gonna get no
pills.
If the bills ain't paid, you ain't okay. Now let's go on to the next. We know that's connected, and so, and I know that submission comes along with that, and to dig deeper. I know we talk about money and a man's ability to provide, to protect, to problem solve, and to procreate. And let me be clear: when I say procreate, that at a certain time early on, if you want a family, you want a man that will be able to do that and be able to do that fulfillingly. And then I think in those who are like, no, I've had mine, I've raised them, and for whatever reason, may it be divorce, split, you had them, you had your children, but was never married, the father didn't stay around, vice versa, the mother didn't stay around, or a spouse may have passed on, and now you're not worried about having any more children. Even in that generation, you need to be able to stir the coffee, like like Mr. Bernie Mac used to say. You got to stir the coffee. So you got to be able to do that at a sufficient level for them as well. Jillian Jones says, you said provision and problem solving. So it makes me think money. Money handles both. No LAL on that one. Provision, home, roof over your head.
All that costs money.
Ample transportation to get to and fro.
Safe transportation.
Yeah, the basic needs of life.
All that costs money.
Yeah, and then protection. Of course, there's multiple facets of protection. You want a man that's fit enough that can protect you physically. Then you definitely want one who can protect you, I think, emotionally and operate with you upon understanding, because you're a woman and you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You're gonna say something, you're gonna do something, but he needs to be able to manage that, handle that, and then bring you back in the square. Sometimes he got to look at you and be like, or he may be like, baby, it's gonna be okay. Listen, I got you. Don't worry about it. Okay? I told you it's gonna be all right. So calm down. And then sometimes he need to be like, hush, woman. No, hush.
Oh no.
Well, that was Grady Roberts. That was Grady Roberts. And you know what? My grandmother would hush. But she didn't, but you know why he could tell her to hush?
Because he was paying for everything.
He ain't want for nothing. But the beautiful thing about it, man, is she ain't asked for too much, in my opinion. But she was a queen to me. And my granddaddy, he was an impressive man, because I looked up to him, not necessarily in stature, but who my grandfather was, and his work ethic, and the way my grandmother doted and loved on him made me know that dude is special. Aww. Like as a kid, I remember like, damn, my granddaddy, he's a dude. And he wasn't but the beauty of it, years later, This is after I have graduated. My first cousin, Richard, had graduated, and then then I'm the second oldest grandson. I had graduated from college, and then the cousin below, the four younger than me, have went on, two lawyers and you know, RNs and a nurse, and then went back and became a lawyer. Financial field. I'm talking about just masters and just doing big things. You know what I mean? And but that grandfather was illiterate, could not read and could not write, but owned 2 homes, owned his own business, and made sure my grandmother wanted for nothing. And as being knowledgeable now, can look back and see how he moved, he functioned, how she treated him, how he was viewed, how I viewed him, and then come to learn, like, you didn't have all this and that and that, but I would have never known. You know what I mean? And so, but the thing is, that's what makes me look at women. I'm like, nah, man, somebody who's just a solid man who makes sure you have your basic needs. Now, you may be the one who has this entrepreneurial spirit. You may be better organized. You may be able to drive and be a great project manager. And he may have a work ethic that's out of sight and some knowledge in a specific area. And if y'all come together, man, you can have a big home and many cars and all of that. But they want these men that can do the left and the right and the up and the down and the twist and the turn and the turn around. And you know what I mean? You better, but look at yourself, see where your weaknesses are, their strengths are, be able to pour into them, and they can pour into you, and then y'all can pour into everything else. Yeah, that was me making my point to the ladies, I guess. So
yeah, I hear you. Go read this comment.
Yeah, they need to get off of that. He got to be 6 foot tall, and I meet a lot of those criteria, but I still look at them and be like, for real? Okay. Jillian Jones says, when he's the man, she never has to ask.
That's right.
That's where that problem solving comes in. Granddaddy was him. Thank you, Jillian. He really was, because he really was. He really was. He really was. And I have to laugh when I think back on it. Also, my uncles. I can, I'm at an age where I can look back and you know how you can value things better because you gain wisdom through life. Like it ain't even fair. It ain't even fair what I've seen. And I'm sharing this because it dictates how like my position and my frame of thought when it comes, and I know we're at the end of our time, and it comes to our frame of thought on why I would hear certain things or I may see certain things in like the videos where the women are talking about, hey, women, y'all become very entitled and you really don't hold yourselves accountable. And I get it. If someone spoils you, you get spoiled. And that's just what it is. It's not necessarily your fault, but I will challenge you to think, to be honest with yourself, start operating with a little bit of balance and respect reality. Like they may be telling you a 10, but you're not a 10. So be honest. And I'm not talking about necessarily your looks. I'm just talking about looking like, do you bring what provisions do you bring? You're putting demands on people, put some demands on yourself. Concern yourself about what can I do? What can I do? Instead of being like, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? Doc, what you got? Because I did kind of dominate and take over.
That's fine. I was over here sneezing anyway, so I appreciate that.
I saw your signal. I saw it.
Okay, so my takeaway. Hold yourself accountable. Do not be out here delusional. And there's nothing wrong with submitting to the right person under the right terms. That's my takeaway.
I would say make up your mind to submit. Think about, and there is no perfect way. You're not going to get out of it unscathed. You can't get there are no guarantees that the person is the person. A lot of stuff is not going to be seen, known until you come to those crossroad moments throughout the relationship, until you with someone long enough, and then you may find a red flag, but don't be scared. Don't be afraid to take the journey to do that. Start with an A, let them work their way to an F. That's my challenge to everybody else.
Work their way to a C, and we up out of here.
Well, okay.
I mean, we can talk about that at another time, but we're not gonna be collecting red flags thinking we at a carnival. And then red means stop. So
yellow do mean, yeah, if I'm gonna have to slow down, I might as well get on, right? Move on.
I mean,
around.
slow down and take a look around, but red means stop. I tell my clients all the time, stop collect. Why are you collecting the red flags? This is not a carnival. What are we doing?
This is not
the landing zone at the
we are not bullfighting here. We're not bullfighting.
What are we doing?
Anyway, you got any comments? You got any comments? And we'll close
Jeff said
out.
I want it all. That's it though.
See, I don't know if that was Jeff. You got it all, brother. No, you didn't.
I was waiting on the amen from him. So I was just trying to see.
All right. We thank you, everyone. Again, please go to the BS3 Network, go on YouTube. And I think UT was a great one because it has a lot of our videos and you can see a variety of the other shows. You can go on to Roku TV, look at the BS3 Network on Roku TV. We're on Twitter, we're on Twitch. Definitely gives you a wide variety of things. So tune in, subscribe, and then also share this. Talk to your friends about Perspective. Go to our Perspective group. So we have a Facebook group on Facebook. Go join our group so you can get notifications when we do have shows. And also you can definitely share things that you would like to be discussed or you would like to get our perspective on. And so with that being said, thank you, Jillian. I appreciate that. And thank you for your commentary. Because I know you're going to, those who watch it tonight and some, because many people watch, but they never comment. And those who are going to see it later, you're definitely going to get them stirred up. And we love that. A lot of food for thought there. So with that, everybody be well. Hey, be honest with yourself. So you need to live in truth. You need to operate in balance and start respecting reality. And we holler at y'all later.